This week on Bragg N Bout Business, we welcome Dennis and Tess Kaltenbrunner to the studio, the father-daughter team leading Beaver Tooth Mulching, a company specializing in acreage management of trees, brush cleaning, fire smarting, and cleanups. From removing bio debris, cutting fence lines, trail building, and arborist services, when it comes to cleaning up your property, Beaver Tooth can help. It was a real pleasure to speak with Dennis and Tess, a stand-up, down-to-earth family. Enjoy. Dennis and Tess, to Bragg N Bout Business.
Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you very much for coming on. We've been looking forward to having you on for quite some time.
Yeah, this it seemed like a good idea and kind of fun. Never done something like this before.
It's nice that you're both able to come.
Yeah, thank you.
You're all geared up.
Yeah,
You got
we
the
are.
swag on. That's very nice.
Yeah, and she's my young budding partner.
Right on. Excellent. So we'll talk about how you came into the business maybe in a little bit. But going back to the beginning, how did Beaver Tooth Mulching come about?
Well, I bought an acreage on the 762, even though we live in Redwood Meadows and have since, what is that, February of 92?
Oh, wow. So a long time local resident.
Yeah, we've been here a while. We love this place.
Yeah, it's great.
I always wanted an acreage out on the 762 so I could ride my dirt bike into McLean. That was my dream as a kid.
Right from your backyard.
Right from the backyard.
Yeah.
You betcha. And then when a friend of mine offered the place up for sale, it was my ideal property. I bought it, and then I came home and told Shannon at dinner that I bought a new place.
How did that go over?
Better than I thought. Pretty sure I was going to be sleeping on the couch, but I managed to be okay with that one.
Yeah.
Anyways, a couple of years of being out there and enjoying having the property, realized how much tree there was down on my 4.5 acres and how little I could use the property.
Right.
Yeah, like anybody else, I just thought I'd dig right into it. Bought a couple of extra chainsaws. I always had one little chainsaw for camping and firewood, but bought a bigger chainsaw, brought my skid steer from my shop in Calgary out here so I could haul around some wood. And one weekend of doing that, I realized what a futile effort that was. Move a lot of wood.
To work. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I started researching, and one thing led to another, and I'm buying more equipment and haulers and diggers and grapples, and eventually getting rid of the brush. The mulcher seemed like the
What else do you do with it?
Absolutely. Doing all this YouTube research, and mulchers grind up the debris and into the ground, and it biodegrades, and away you go.
Exactly.
How could that be any better? So while I'm clearing the place, I needed help. So I got Tess out there running machines and teaching her how to run chainsaws. I had my wife out there. I was paying a young neighbor kid to come and help me. Turned out Tessa liked it and was pretty good at it. So that's kind of how it started.
That's how it started.
Man, there's nobody out here doing this sort of thing with heavy equipment and moving it quickly. So
there's a huge need for it too.
Seems like it.
Yeah,
certainly does.
Lots of woods with deadfall and
absolutely.
Yeah. And I mean, that's how I met you.
Yeah.
Was when we needed our fence line mulched.
Absolutely.
And the acreage hadn't been looked after to probably as best as it could be. And you opened your eyes to the possibilities with what could happen on 4 acres.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, by that point, I had a lot of practice at that point. Be good at it. So, it worked out pretty good. We love coming up here and helping you open this place up.
Yeah, it was great. We appreciate it. No, we love it out here, too. It's usable property now.
Yeah, exactly.
So talk to me a little bit about looking at your website, the ethical aspect of the work that you do. Because when people think, oh, you're cutting down trees and all that kind of thing, but there is a bit of maintenance that has to go on with properties.
Absolutely. It's like a giant yard itself, and of course trees are just huge part of the biology in your property. I mean, it's not like mowing a lawn. When you're in the city, you now have all these trees out in your property, and most folks out here have a couple of acres to 15, 20 acres or sections, you name it, but there's usually so little that they can actually use, or the forest these days is kind of fallen down. It's pretty well-aged forest. We've learned a lot from going to a lot of
no doubt
fire smart meetings from professionals that are around here explaining to us that the forest should have burned many, many years ago, and it's reaching kind of end of life. So yeah.
When was the last major fire in the Bragg area?
Geez, that was in the late 1800s or
is that right?
No. Don't quote me because I don't know exactly, but there were a bunch of fires in the 20s and the 30s that were in and around this area, but I don't think Bragg Creek was part of that.
Okay. So we're due.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're overdue. We're absolutely overdue. You can see the young growth trying to come up around the old growth, and the old growth's falling over. I mean, we get that with the windstorms and the heavy wet snow that comes down.
Mulching up seems like a great idea because you're returning the nutrients from these trees back into the original ground rather than hauling them away.
Yep.
And you're accelerating that process. So has there been an uptick in people wanting that kind of service?
Well, it certainly seems like it. I think it's just getting the word out because, people kind of wonder what it is we do.
Right.
And a lot of people mistake mulch for like the mulch you buy at the mulch depot and you put around your trees. Yeah. That's actually bagged up wood chips that have been usually dyed and colored or cooked.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. From what I understand, they're not that healthy for the trees, honestly.
Probably not.
No, they're all, it's more visual.
Yes.
Aesthetically, apparently, it's not that healthy for the ground. This is what I'm learning as well. And so what we do with the mulcher is mulch up the trees, the brush, the bush, and grind it into the top layer of topsoil and spread it around. And it biodegrades really quickly because we've aerated the soil and put the wood chips into the soil and hence back to where it came from. And it smooths it out nicely and gets rid of all the junk and debris. If we have, say, big tree trunks that are quite large, most folks want those cut up for anything from milling to firewood to just stacking it up and getting it out of there.
It seems like a great way to look after the forest.
Yeah, it is.
When did Beaver Tooth begin?
Well, this is our third year now. Yeah. I started it in February 3 years ago. And that was after doing quite a bit of stuff at home. And then a couple of friends who have acreages, I offered to go out and help clean some of their areas up. And sure enough, we did quite a bit at their places and they were quite happy with it. One of them, friend of mine, Gary, he's got a lot of horses and we opened up a lot of areas so they could use more of their land for their horses. And, that worked out great.
Just one thing leads to the next. And word of mouth is huge.
Yeah. That was exactly what it turned into, a lot of word of mouth, because I like to do a real nice job.
You do.
And the cool thing about this is it's so visual.
It is.
Like I spent my life in the auto repair industry and, we fixed cars, but we weren't painting them. So we fixed your cars, when your brakes are fixed and you come back, well, they work, but you don't see anything.
It's all under the hood.
Exactly. Yeah. Here, I come to your place and, look at all these trees that are down and falling and the place is kind of a mess and, with trees all over the place, and all over the place. And when we finish up, I mean, we're raking up the edges and cleaning up the whole. Yeah. Looks like a park.
Like a park.
Exactly. No. That makes me feel good.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when you step back and look at what you did and before and afters and looking at pictures online. And we'll put some up during the podcast here too, where people can see the before and afters of what you guys done. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty cool. So you, Tess. Yes. So when did you start to come into the business? Right from the beginning too?
So he said we started in February. So I was still in school at that point. And I graduated in June, I guess. So I had no plans to go to university because I was like, I just don't like school. I really don't like it. Dude, I'm just not a school person. So I was like, you know what? Something's going to come along. And I was like, would you like to? And I was like, yes, I will come to work with you. And that's history now. 30 years.
Cool. Yeah. And how do you enjoy it? You run all the equipment, you run the chainsaws, you run the mulchers.
Yeah. Mainly the mulcher, but I'm learning the excavator and I've got everything down now, but I'm no comparison to him. But it's so fun. It's so satisfying. The mulching is the most satisfying thing in the world. It's like you take like a little bit of a mess and you turn it into a carpet.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Exactly. Well, we got a couple of piles of mess up the hill.
Oh yeah.
That we need you guys to attend to. So.
Awesome.
And how's it been working with your dad?
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, he's obviously been in business having employees for over 30 years now. So he knows how to manage people and I know how to manage him. So it's all
Is that a full-time job?
Yes, it is. No, I don't see enough of it really at home, at work, everywhere. Yeah. So we have good communication.
Well, obviously you guys get along well.
We do.
Yeah,
we do.
For sure. We do. Good communication.
Yeah.
And so Dennis, yes. So as Tess mentions, you are a serial entrepreneur. So this isn't the first business you started.
No, heck no. I've been through a few now.
Yeah, exactly. And so maybe talk briefly about your history.
Well, let's see. I grew up with my father owning an auto repair shop in Lethbridge, and he raced stock cars and snowmobiles. So I just had this awesome youth growing up, dirt biking with my family in the summer, watching dad race stock cars on Saturday nights. And then snowmobiling in the winter. And then eventually we were skiing as well and camping. And I couldn't have asked for a better childhood. In fact, it was probably ridiculously spoiled in a lot of ways. We worked for everything. Me and my brother and sister were not given any of this stuff without working our butts off on it.
Yeah, good.
So I moved up to Calgary. I was 28 or so. Worked for a Volkswagen Audi dealer in Calgary because I loved the German cars. And I had always planned on running my own business. So I decided to open an auto repair business because I knew that from working with my dad in the auto repair shop.
Grew up in it.
And I knew I needed to specialize in something. So I specialized in German car, hence German car specialist. And along the way, that wasn't keeping me busy enough because I was dirt bike racing as well at the time. And I didn't like the way the suspensions were working at the time. So I ended up modifying dirt bike suspensions for a couple of years myself. And then I bought into a motorcycle suspension franchise.
Cool.
And I ran that with a few employees for almost 12 years before I finally sold the franchise off. And in the middle of that, I took on another partner and was also doing German car part recycling.
Interesting.
That lasted a couple of years, and I decided I didn't want the junk business. No, thank you. Closed that up. And German car specialist became my real focus. Hadn't taken holidays in years, and I wanted some family time. So,
of course.
Yeah.
So the business was kind of up and running, kind of a well-oiled machine at that point. And
yeah, it was going pretty good. It got a lot better when I focused on just the one business.
Yeah.
So then I stuck with that for a lot of years. And then, let's see, that's 34 years now, German car specialist. And about 5 years ago, I kind of worked myself out of a job. It's such great staff down there.
You do.
Doing such a good job that I was kind of getting in the way because I'd given everybody else all of the jobs. And that's where I started clearing my acreage out here and deciding that I enjoyed working outdoors. I really liked working outdoors. I've been working indoors all my life.
Right.
Yeah. And I spent all my spare time outdoors. So why aren't I doing this? And so a little bit of research and one thing led to another and opened Beaver Tooth Mulching.
There you go.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. As you mentioned, there's only a few companies that do kind of what you do in and around the Bragg area.
Yeah, we're trying to specialize a little more. There's a couple of other folks out here that have mulchers and do a fine job. They're, from what I can tell, they're also landscaping. So, moving dirt and rocks and building driveways and roads and whatnot. And from what I can tell, they're highly experienced at it. I have not tried to get into that at all. I'm not trying to do any landscaping or road building or grading or anything to that effect.
Yeah.
So I'm just sticking completely with the forest.
Yeah, exactly.
Dealing with the trees.
You got a good
and the
niche.
brush.
You got a good niche there.
Well, I'm trying to, yeah. And, we really want to do an excellent job of it all around. So every job we get is unique because every person, every owner of their property who wants something cleaned up or changed, or let's say they want to clear a whole pile of area so they can put a building up or, start a garden or a pasture for their horses or whatever. There's just so many different ideas out there. Yep. It's interesting. It's really fun. It's a little kick in the pants to get back out there and work like a young man again.
Hard work. Right? That's not all machines.
4 hours of chainsawing yesterday in the high heat directly outside I probably sweated off a couple pounds.
Well, you're in good shape. You're in good shape. So
you got to stay that way. Try anyways.
What's it like doing business, with landowners in and around Bragg Creek?
Oh, I love the people out here.
Yeah.
They are so down to earth, genuine, and each one of them are sweet in their own ways. We have an overwhelming number of customers who will set out snacks for us and just go out of their way to be super nice to us, right? They're inviting us onto their property. So I feel like we have a lot of responsibility towards respecting that. And most folks feel like family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's a great, I love Bragg Creek.
What a great way to start the day. You're going to see friends and family.
Yeah, exactly.
Spending time outdoors, making things look beautiful.
Yeah.
And all their animals.
Or all their animals. If we go to somebody's place and they have animals there, any animals, she's in there. Pretty busy taking care of the animals or looking at them.
So I'm going to go down a little bit of a road here now, Tess, but are you doing anything on the business side with Beaver Tooth?
I do like invoicing and, kind of the boring office stuff.
Yeah.
Not all of it.
Well, that's good though.
Yeah.
Because one day you're probably going to have to do it all.
Exactly. And it's so good to learn.
The young fellow who's working for us, the youngest fellow, Toby, has taken on the social media thing just recently. We just sat down and talked about it, and he really wants to eventually get into that kind of marketing for bigger companies.
All right.
Toby's 18 now or 19?
Yeah, he's 18.
Yeah.
No, he's 19.
Anyways, he'd like to work with ours for a while as he's
just
stepping his way.
experience.
Yeah, exactly. So we're hoping that soon we'll have something coming up here on Instagram and Facebook pretty soon that'll be consistent.
Yeah, and that's everything about social media is
Yeah.
consistency.
Yeah. And he has a passion for it. So.
Exactly.
That's what you need.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, we get some pretty cool drone shots, you know. Here's the machine over here in the tree in this tricky spot, and here we cut it, and it comes in a nice place, and then speed up with the video, and all of a sudden it's chopped all up, and there's the mulcher. And then a few seconds later, there's the area all cleared off and nice, and you.
That's a great post right there.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty cool.
So you also do drone services?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So how did you start doing that?
Well, I just thought what we were doing was so visually obvious before and after that we should get a drone and start doing this. So I bought a drone and I learned how to operate it, of course. And I'm like, oh boy, I just gave myself something else to do, which I've already got a million things to do. So it kind of sat on the side for a bit, and I'd call a friend of mine to come out once in a while on bigger jobs that were really obvious.
Yep.
Sometimes it's not so obvious when we're cutting a trail through the trees. If you're up in a drone, you really can't see it. But if I'm clearing a whole section,
nice and wide,
or getting the drone down fairly low and looking into the trees where there's a whole bunch of dead stuff laying all over, and then we clean it up and you can see the tidiness. It works great.
Yeah.
So we weren't going too far with it. Then when we got Toby working for us last fall, and I remembered that we had the drone. Turns out he has one himself, flies it quite a bit, knows what he's doing. So we're trying to get that ball rolling. Well, we've come to learn now, of course, that this is a big improvement to your property value.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's say you had to sell your place and people drive into your acreage and, you have a beautiful home and it's well taken care of and maybe a nice tight yard around, but then you've got acres of fallen trees that you can barely walk through versus a nice tidy forest that you can walk the fence line, or you have a trail system in there, or you have a couple of pastures and area, it improves the value big time, and it helps somebody be far more interested in the property.
And you can kind of justify the cost of doing those improvements too, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What is one thing that you would like your customers to know about the work that you guys do?
Well, we have a lot of equipment. So if you have any needs for tree services, we can pretty well do it.
Maybe talk us through a little bit about all the services you guys provide, aside from obvious mulching, but.
Right. So, we have lots of equipment. So grapples and augers, all kinds of different attachments.
So I've got an excavator with a tree shear, which means I can.
So you can just pinch.
I can cut a 12-inch around tree. And I mean, I've taken down 60 and 80 foot tall trees as long as where I can get to it is at 12 inches. So I reach up with the excavator, snip it off, it holds it. I can bring it down, drop it down, rotate it onto the ground, cut it into sections, stack it up. Then we can use one of the other machines to grapple it and move it over to where we're mulching it, or we chainsaw it up and clean it. Then I take it right down to the stump. We can grind the stump right out of there if you want. We can grapple it up and move it. Mulchers can literally go right into treat areas and chew up.
Push things over.
Yeah, push things over and then mulch it out of the way and clean. It's pretty creative way to effectively and, I don't know. Efficiently, sure. Yeah. Efficiently in a nice way. I mean, obviously the mulcher is a big machine chewing up trees, but we're doing it in the most efficient way possible. We end up with customers asking us for all kinds of unusual stuff.
That sounds interesting.
Oh, I've got this old fence over here that's kind of in the way. So we end up lifting up and pulling out all this old fence for them, stacking it up. And, we've done garbage runs for people.
Wow.
Taking out old rotten fence so we could clear part of their property.
You got the truck and trailer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we've got several trucks and several trailers.
Yeah.
We have a job right now we're doing for some folks who are leveling an old cabin and an old outdoor swimming pool.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so we actually pumped out the swimming pool because it was just full of water and frogs.
Yeah.
Tessa saved all the frogs.
I got them all.
Yeah, she did. She went in there and saved all the frogs. Literally, before we took it apart, we pump all the water out of it, and this lovely little pool had an old brick retaining wall all the way around it, and then showers. It was heated.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, it had an outdoor barbecue. I'm sure back in the 50s and 60s when this thing was new, it was awesome. It
no doubt.
A diving board, nice little pool.
It was like a real camp.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. It was awesome. And of course, it's all rotten and falling down. So we're leveling it, pushing it all into the pool. And then they're going to haul in some dirt, build up above it, and start a garden.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Reclaim the land.
Yeah. And the house is going on the other side of the yard. So it's pretty creative, interesting stuff.
That is neat.
Yeah.
How big of a radius do you work outside of Bragg?
prefer to stick within about an hour's driving distance one way. That's not a bad drive to work.
And there's plenty of business in there too.
Absolutely. Yeah. But it's a beautiful drive to work when we're doing these back roads. Driving around here, I don't miss driving in the city at all.
Right. This year, 2025, the summer has been extremely wet.
Holy.
Yeah. So I think we were talking the other day, and it was, you haven't seen this kind of rain since you guys moved here in the early 90s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When my wife and I got together, that first few years, we were doing a lot of dirt biking and camping. And I remember a lot of years back then when we had a lot of summer rain, then it seemed to taper off a lot. And this summer, as wet as it has been, reminds me a lot of that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, we've just adding up what we've taken out of our rain gauge since beginning of June. Yeah. It's almost 2 feet of rain.
Oh, I know. It's crazy.
Yeah. In 2 months.
I saw something the other day saying we were on track to be the third wettest July on record, I believe it was. Right? But the coldest July on record.
It definitely was not very warm. How does all of this play in? So managing the forest, the moisture that we've had, and then the fire smarting, that's becoming a bigger and bigger topic. And I know you're very active attending all of these meetings.
Yes, of course.
So maybe you can talk a little bit about some things that homeowners should be doing to look after their property in the event of a fire.
Well, I've learned enough from fire smarting courses and reading up on it. It's pretty common sense. The bigger coniferous trees go up like matchsticks.
They do.
If a high wind and high heat and a fire comes through. So the idea is to keep 30 meters away from your house with the big coniferous trees. They light up faster, like the pine trees. Yeah. They light up faster than most of the other stuff. And then stuff around your house needs to not look like a tinderbox.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to keep your gutters clean so it's not full of pine needles that'll light your roof. You know, your firewood pile beside the house should be covered up properly so there isn't a fire waiting to happen. Yeah. They do have these rain spraying sprinkler systems that apparently help tremendously.
Yep.
So that's another good idea. And they're really low flow. So even though the water usually is being used up by everybody during a fire, these are very, very low pressure misters.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. Seems like a darn good idea to me. And apparently it's been proven.
What do you love about Bragg Creek for Business?
Well, exactly that. I mean, most folks here are really down to earth people who moved out here to have a little more relaxed pace and a little easier going attitude.
Yeah.
You know, I don't ever walk around Bragg Creek and feel like I'm rubbing shoulders with grumpy people.
Or feel out of place. Or,
Oh, yeah.
It's very comfortable.
It's not pretentious at all. I'm a country boy. I was born in Regina, Saskatchewan, while we lived in Rollo, which is a really little town.
I've been there.
On the Weyburn Highway.
Yeah.
Lived there till I was in grade 1, moved to Moose Jaw. So I'm just a small town guy.
Small town guy. Yeah. And Tess, this is what you've known your whole life too.
I was born in Redwood Meadows.
Born in the house.
Born in the house we live in currently.
So you're a bit of an anomaly because most young people, when they grow up in the country, they just want to go to the city.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And I did. When I was in school, all I wanted to do was be close to my friends.
Sure.
And then I graduated and I was like, I think I like it here
I like it here a lot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So country girl at heart too.
That's great. Challenges do you have to overcome in the early part of Beaver Tooth?
Well, we're still working with that. Equipment breaks down.
Yeah.
And it creates all kinds of challenges because you don't want to bump it into the side of the truck.
Of course.
It causes $6,000 to $8,000 worth of damage really quickly. We've learned that.
Yeah.
You know, when you're having to wedge something out of the mulcher, you don't raise the mulcher way up in the air and leave the door open on the skid steer.
This sounds like a story.
Even if the machine's running, the door slowly comes down and then the mulcher slowly comes down and the door explodes. That's $2,000.
Yeah, these aren't inexpensive machines you're working with here.
No, they're pretty expensive. You know, being the car and dirt bike and snowmobile guy that I am, I love gear and I love equipment and I love what it can do. But there are some days when something goes haywire and I go,
right.
You know, I get all keyed up and I'm shooting towards goal lines every day to finish this amount and that amount. And setbacks are a bit of a pain in the butt, like the last 3 weeks with all this rain.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Man, we've been lucky to get 2 solid days of work done per week for the last 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, because you're working on inclines and
well, even on the flat, the groundwater has come up to where it's sitting on the surface now. The ground is so saturated.
I mean, we're on a hill and it's sitting on the surface.
Yeah. Shannon, my wife, was on 2 Pine. just a couple days ago, hiking up, and the water's running down off Two Pine as they're hiking up.
Oh, yeah.
Straight up the trail. Oh,
Well, mulching the mud.
it's not good at all.
Not great.
You
No.
can't do it.
Yeah, but
Because the drum starts picking up the mud, then it packs full of mud,
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say.
and it adds weight to the already heavy spinning drum.
How do you
And
get that off? Yeah.
Well, you got to wash it
you got
off.
Right.
their
And you're in the
jack,
middle of
wait till it's
nowhere.
dry, chisel it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's a mess.
we pretty much have to shut them down when it's that wet.
We have challenges every day, but I mean, that's what comes with running a business. I guess that's what I'm learning. At least problem solving is a skill that you need.
Yeah, it's literally on the fly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm learning that, and it's great. It's great.
You've got one other employee?
Actually, there's 3 other employees.
3 other employees.
Yeah, Daryl, Toby, and Simon.
Nice.
We get a lot done as a crew. Busy beavers.
Busy beavers, that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
How hard has it been to find people? I know that's a struggle with.
Absolutely. Well, I found this one. She was at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
And
Found her.
yeah, my friend Daryl
Yeah.
got to talking because we were friends, and I told him what that was just when I was getting things started, and he had some equipment experience and definitely acreage experience from out here. So we started chatting, and I'm like, I think Daryl would make a great guy to work with us. And so I bugged him about it quite a bit until I finally, him and I sat down, talked about it, and I put him to work.
Nice.
And I was like, am I busy enough for him? I hope so, because I think so. So that got going. And then we also had one more because I needed another young guy who can do more physically than I can.
Yeah.
And so we ended up hiring a
Strong back, weak mind.
As long as he's listening, I'll call him a moldable mind.
A moldable. That's a better. That's a nicer way to say.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Because I must train him to do what I need him to do. I managed to find another young fellow, Toby, who's son of a good friend of mine, and this was completely new to him.
Sure.
And it's taken him a while to be comfortable and work as part of the team. But that's like any team. It takes a while to learn how to work together as a team.
Yeah.
And then this spring, I really realized how busy we were and that we needed one more fellow because I'd like to be able to. And we are now running 2 crews. So I basically got enough equipment and supplies and stuff to be able to go to 2 different places at once. Or if all of us are in one job, we get a lot done, in a day or 2 or 3 or whatever the project might be. So I just started asking the universe for some help. And lo and behold, this young man Simon sent me an email before I had actually put an ad out there saying, hey, I'm an experienced arborist and I have some equipment experience as well. And you're close to my home living here in Bragg Creek. He lives on the 762. As it turns out, it's like less than 5 minutes from our shop.
Yeah.
So he found me, which was, thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really great.
Right.
You got your own little recruiting agency.
Well, I guess.
And then you got consistency too, because it is difficult to find people.
It is. I really try to look after him good because if you look after your people look after you, they do a great job. You build a future.
Exactly. And finding an arborist isn't easy either because it is an art felling trees.
Absolutely. It is. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of years and some good training. Yeah.
And the right equipment. If you had to give some advice to people who were looking at starting their own business in and around the Bragg Creek area, what would that be?
Honestly, I think if you look for something that other people aren't doing, there's always something. Even like I said, there's lots of good people running equipment and taking down trees. There's some excellent arborists around here. Oh, and I just wanted to point out on that end, there are certain difficult trees in tight around homes and properties that we really aren't doing any of that specialty arborist
climbing.
Yeah, we aren't doing any of that right now. Simon knows what he's doing with it. I just haven't bought the equipment and decided if we're going to get into it.
Right.
So there's excellent guys around here that know what they're doing, and we refer people over to them all the time as well. If I was going to start a business, I've just found myself doing something that I couldn't find anyone locally to do for me at what I felt was a fair price. I think it makes a lot of sense to look for something that's a niche.
Yeah.
And one of the things I have learned is there's a tremendous amount of middle age and aging population.
Absolutely.
That live out here on acreages nearby in the Bragg Creek area. There's lots of things they need that they either have to drive into the city for or they have to go find someone for. And I think trades of any sort that take some sort of physical effort to get done, I think there's a huge opportunity there for young folks myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why, Tess, you're bucking the trend. I mean, And I think there is a bit of a change in the wind when it comes to young people that are, not necessarily having to go down the university path to get a white collar job. Mm-hmm. People are going into trades because it's lucrative.
It is.
Sure.
And it's way more fun.
Yeah.
For yourself now, how do you see the future playing out with Beaver Tooth?
I love it. So I don't have any plans for, other
anything
things.
Else. Yeah.
Not at all. Other than like one day to be married and have children.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
I want to live out here.
All in good time.
All in good time. So I want to live out here, obviously. So just learning on how to continue growing in the business and
gaining experience.
Getting better.
Yeah, getting better.
Yeah. Well, the team's growing. The business is growing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lots of opportunity. With working out here now for the last few years, and you obviously everybody in the area because you've been here for 30 plus years. What kind of partnerships have you brought about with other businesses in the area that you're either referring businesses to or working jobs with?
Yeah, well, Red Mountain Rigging and Tree Works, they're arborists that have been around here for forever, and they're excellent guys. They know what they're doing, so we always refer, those types of arborist work over to those folks. I've met a few mill work guys out in this area. That's worked out pretty well because we're just referring people over and then helping them find wood because we're constantly moving wood around. Sam from Foothill Septic, we've talked quite a bit together because, he's in the area doing his local work. And I've got a couple of landscaper friends out here. Kevin with Mountain Pearl, who's actually out of Cochrane, and then Dave with Rocky Mountain Creative Landscapes. Dave Foster does a fantastic job, him and his partner. And
you were referred to us by Rich at Big Girls.
Rich, exactly.
I'm going to make a fence line.
Yeah, exactly. And Rich knows what he's doing. I mean, he
did a great job.
He did.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good. What's one thing keeping you up at night right now?
All my aches and pains. I've got enough aches and pains. That's about it.
What's one thing that in your field of expertise that no one agrees with you on?
That's an interesting question because, I listen to a lot of folks for advice and I always take that into account, but I usually end up doing things my own anyways.
So you listen to the opinion, but
I do like to listen because
of course
I can always learn. Yes. I'm learning every day.
Yeah.
However, it surprises me how much I end up going right back to what my brain came up with in the first place. I don't know. Maybe that's the stubborn German in me.
Well, the funny thing is, it usually works out.
If it doesn't work out, I learn a valuable lesson about how to do it better the next time. I don't have many people telling me what to do.
Other than Shannon.
Yeah. Well, good point. Yeah. We get that once in a while.
Yeah.
But that's okay. She's trying to keep me in line.
That's good. All right. Where can listeners find you online?
btmden.com.
Yeah. btmden.com.
That's our website. And then you can just search up Beaver Tooth Mulching on Instagram and Facebook as well.
Put the links.
Or on the web, Beaver Tooth Mulching, and it comes up pretty quick.
That's BTM Den.
Yeah.
BTM Den. So what's
btmden.com.
So what's the den?
That's what Dennis.
Well, that was
Dennis. Okay.
It was den, but it was also a play on the Beaver Den.
Beaver Den.
Beaver Den.
We had so much fun building the Beaver Tooth name.
It's a great logo. I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
We came up with a lot of different stuff trying to come up with a name for the business. And
you have to be careful coming up with beaver names.
Beaver names.
This is true.
Yes. So when we came up with Beaver Tooth Mulching, which, there were plenty of other versions of that.
Yes.
Which we didn't want to get into right now.
No.
But I needed to have something really fun with it. So I searched the internet and we come up with this happy little guy. And he turned out really good.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're having fun with the beavers in the parade.
Yeah, you guys had a great float for Bragg Creek
Days. I
Days.
had some friends last night
Awesome.
tell us that their granddaughter got one of the little beavers. And
got a beaver.
Yeah, because we were tossing them off the float test. It'd be cool for the kids. And it turns out they really liked it. So
Bragg Creek Days was a raging success.
It was awesome. It was the pocket of sunshine that we got, like the one little 3 hours of sun. It was amazing.
Yeah. And you guys placed in one of the top 3 categories.
Yeah, we got second. We were pretty excited about having second place.
We had the grapple there with the tree in it.
Yeah.
I think 3,800 people came through the beer gardens. Jason from Cowboy Trail Brewery said they had like 3 beers left in the cooler.
Oh wow,
nice,
right on.
So it was
it was such a nice afternoon.
The
rains parted, sun came out,
music was great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, it was good times. Got some personal question for you guys now.
Okay.
So, what's your favorite business in Bragg Creek, Tess?
I love the farmhouse. I worked there for
Did you
2-3 years? Yeah, and I loved it. Like the people are amazing, and the food is so good.
It is
and
best.
It's awesome.
Crazy.
Always recommend that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dennis?
Well, I'm a regular of the Powderhorn.
It is a classic.
Matt and the crew there, we're pretty regular there, and we love that place. We do enjoy Rockies as well. Dominic at Von Essen,
Right.
him and his mom, they've done a beautiful job putting that place together. Dominic worked for me as an auto technician, a German car specialist for a lot of years. Yes. He still works for me one day a week, actually. The food is really good there.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We had Dominic on a few months ago. And
cool.
Great story. Yeah. Great family.
I love just about all the Bragg Creek businesses.
They're great.
Spirits West, everybody, basically.
Yeah. And everybody's very supportive as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
absolutely.
Nice. Tess, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I thought about many things. I mean, I want to be a veterinarian. I love animals. I love animals. Dogs are my favorite thing in the world. Something with animals. I never expected this, but
well, you're still close to it.
I exactly get to meet awesome people, and they always have dogs.
Yeah.
Met your dog?
Yeah. Well, we'll let them out of the ground when we're done.
Yeah.
What kind of animals have you guys seen working out in the wild?
I mean,
you seen everything?
I saw. It was like a little weasel. It was the weirdest little thing. It was green in the snow. It was green.
Yeah.
Really?
A green weasel. I've never seen such a thing.
Wow.
I know.
She spots
crazy.
all the little animals and critters all over the place.
Actually, I did find recently a salamander.
How big was it?
Frog.
It was like the size of my palm.
That's a good size.
Cool. I picked it up and it started like excreting white stuff. And I was like, you're probably poisonous. So I put it down and I didn't touch my eyes after that.
And what did you, Dennis? What did you want to be when you grew up?
Oh, I wanted to race dirt bikes for a living.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in love with racing dirt bikes all my life.
Yeah, and you're still on them.
Yes, I certainly am.
Yeah.
I love it.
What did your parents want you to be?
My parents wanted me to be happy and healthy and successful. My parents were really open-minded at that.
And I feel that's the same way you are for Tess as well.
I try to be.
Yeah. What was your first job, Tess?
My first job? I think I worked at Rockies.
Oh, was that right?
I worked at Rockies. I wonder if that was my first job.
Yeah, it was Rockies.
Right on.
I did. Yeah. I've done lots of
babysitting,
stuff. Babysitting. Yeah. And I sold actually my first job. We live right on the second hole. So I'd go out and I'd find golf balls and I'd collect them. And then I'd go out and then I would sell them for $1.
Yeah.
I would unpackage food and sell it. And when the golfers hit their shot, I'd go, nice shot. Would you like to buy something?
Come on.
Yeah.
She was good at it.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Little entrepreneur yourself.
I gave her a little advice. I said, Tess, there's all these customers going by us all day long.
Captive audience.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
How could they say no to a little girl?
Exactly.
So cute.
Right?
Exactly. So cute.
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right on. And you?
Paper Route and Dickie D.
Dickie D ice cream.
The ice cream peddling.
Oh, yeah.
And the Paper Route. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. My brother and I were so excited about dirt bikes one Saturday when I was 13 and Brian was 11. Dad shows up in the driveway with 2 dirt bikes in a box still. Had to be put together.
Wow.
We're so excited we couldn't think. He sits us down at the kitchen table and he says, okay, we're going to write up a deal here right now. You each have to pay for half of these dirt bikes at the time. The bikes were worth $450 a piece, and we had to pay off the $225 before Christmas. And this was like spring, summer. So literally before we even got to put the bikes together, had to go get a job. So I hightailed it down to where a friend of mine was doing his paper route, talked to the paper route guy there. He gave me a route right on the spot, was started almost 2 days later, like the Monday. This was a Saturday. And on my way back, I stopped at the Tasty Freeze ice cream shop because I knew they peddled the ice cream carts there. Yeah. And so I was peddling ice cream carts, trying to run away from the punks who would try to steal my ice cream.
What was your favorite job?
I guess a lot of my German car specialist was excellent, especially when we got to do a bunch of tuning. And when I was doing motorcycle suspension tuning, I really enjoyed that as well because I got to build stuff that would work better than it did when it first came out.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Probably see some pretty cool cars too.
Oh, we've seen a lot of cool cars and a lot of cool bikes.
Yeah. And you?
I loved the farmhouse. I loved serving people. I just love like making people happy, which, bleeds into Beaver
good customer service.
Exactly.
Yes.
I love making people happy. Kevin's awesome. Like he puts so much effort into making the business better, which is like why I have so much respect for the farmhouse itself. And it's doing really awesome.
What was your worst job?
I worked for a tire shop in Calgary for about a week. When I first moved to Calgary, I had been promised a job at the Porsche dealer, but they were opening their new shop and it was taking a while. So I wanted to get up to Calgary anyways. And I came to work for one of the tire shops that'll remain anonymous, but as an auto technician. So I get to work and literally within hours of the first day I'm at work, the manager, I could tell, was a greedy SOB. And he was making us sell work that we shouldn't be selling.
Oh, yeah.
Because it wasn't needed. And I refused to do it. I got into arguments with this guy. And I started working on Tuesday. And by Saturday morning, I come to work. I already know I got to leave.
Yeah.
But I come to work, and this young couple comes in with their Camaro car, and they had, a baby. So anyways, young couple family. I have a look at why their brakes are squeaking. I recommend servicing the brakes because it just looked like they haven't been used, a little rusty. I go and talk to the actual customer, which I wasn't supposed to do because supposed to deal with the service manager guy.
Right.
I talked to the couple. Sure enough, they hadn't used the car much. It's been sitting quite a bit. And so, if I clean and service the brakes, then everything would be fine. I go back to talk to the manager. He says, yeah, okay, fine. I go back in the shop and I wait for approval. 10 minutes later, he comes back in and he sets down all new parts, like $800 worth of stuff.
Jeez.
And I'm like, what are you doing? He says, I'm selling them all new brakes. I said, like, hell you are.
Jesus.
And I literally took the car off the hoist, put the car out in front, went out to the front, told the customers that they were getting ripped off, gave him his keys and told him to go find somebody to service his brakes, locked my toolbox, told this guy I was coming back in an hour, and I came back in an hour, loaded up my tools and left.
My God.
You know what he did when I came back to get my tools? He said, hey, I really appreciate somebody standing up to me. I'd really like that. Do you want to run my shop for me? I said, not a chance.
Right.
Later,
Can you
dude.
imagine?
Bye, dude.
Gee.
Out of here.
But that's unfortunately a lot of mechanic shops
Some
get that
shops.
reputation.
Yeah, there aren't as many as you think, but there are a few of them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's always crooks in every business, but
You want somebody you can trust. What was your favorite subject in school?
I love biology.
Biology.
And probably gym.
yeah.
That's my son's favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember yours?
Well, yeah, Jim.
Yeah.
Skipping school.
Skip.
Yes.
And I would have to say physics.
Yeah.
I had a cool physics teacher.
Yeah.
I like that kind of science.
Well, now it's applicable.
It is, exactly.
Right? Well, Dennis, thank you very much for coming on Bragg N Bout Business. It was a pleasure having you on. And I definitely wish you the best for the rest of the season.
Thanks very much, Greg. A lot of fun.
And we'll have you back on soon.
Thanks, Greg.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Dennis and Tess. If you would like to discuss ideas for your acreage and have some tidying up to do in a responsible, ethical way, reach out to Beaver Tooth Mulching at btmden.com. Links in the show notes. Thanks for listening and watching. Check out the bnbb.ca website where we have links to all our past episodes on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Have a great week.